Hello and welcome to another expert level puzzle. This is again of, I think, Chinese origin, but truth be told, I don't really know the provenance of these stacks of photocopies. But I do know that they are sometimes, or actually quite often, fun to play. And we'll see how we do with this one here. As I said, it's marked expert, and I don't really want to be a judge of that. I just solve these puzzles because I find it a good pastime. So I immediately see the 5, 2 and the 5, 2 here. So a 5 and a 2 will go in two of these three spaces down here in row 3. I also see the 9, 6 bearing down here and the 9, 6 coming over here. So these two have to be a 9, 6 pair. The two ones blocking over here. Therefore, this must be a 1. So we found the first digit, and that's always nice. So if these are 9s and 6s, and we got a 3 coming down here, then one of these must be a 3, right? And therefore, one of these must be a 3 because the 3 is blocking these two squares. This 2 blocks over here, so one of these two squares must be a 2, and therefore this must be a 2 here. These 3 squares must be a 5, 7, and a 9. There's a 9 and a 5 in this column, so this must be a 7. And now we got a 1, 7 here and a 1, 7 here, and therefore these two squares must be a 1 and a 7. And because we have a 9 blocking over here and the 9 blocking up here, one of these must be a 9, and therefore one of these must be a 9. And it so happens that we are still missing a 9 in this row here, so therefore this is a 9, and the last digit has got to be, what did I say, a 5. So we got a couple of 5s blocking here and here, and we got this 5 blocking over, so this is a 5. Sometimes these puzzles start off with a flurry of quite easy digits, and then all of a sudden you grind to a halt, and you're thinking, what's happening here? I was doing so great. Let's see if this is what is going to happen here as well. So these two being a 1 and a 7 pair, making these a 3 and a 4. And there's a 3 in the row, so the 4 has to go here and the 3 therefore here. I think I did mention that because these have to be a 6 and a 9, that the 3 will have to go in one of these two squares. So a ghost 3 here and a 3 here forces a 3 to go in this square. So now we got a 3 and a 9 here and a 3 and a 9 here, and these have to be 3s and 9s. So 3 and 9 here, 1 and 7 here, that leaves a 4 and a 6 for these two squares. Can we do anything with that? Well, yes, of course we can, because we also have a 4 and a 6 here. So these two squares must be a 4 and a 6, and that makes this one here an 8. And that makes this square an 8 because we have these two 8s blocking. And now we got an 8 blocking over here and an 8 blocking over here and an 8 blocking down. So this is an 8. And for the time being, I think that is all I can do with the 8s. But that was quite a leap forward, because we know that these were 4 and a 6 now, and we're just missing one more entry here. And that must be a 2. And now that we have these two blocking down here, we know that this is a 2. And we know that these are 6 and 9, so this cell cannot be a 2. The 2 must go here. I still don't know where to place the 2 and the 5 in these 3 squares here, but we're closing in on that solution, I think. So we know that this is a 6 or a 9, and therefore one of these 2 squares must be a 4. We also have a 4 here, and we have a 4 here. So one of these 2 squares must be a 4. One of these 2 squares must be a 3. So we are still looking to find a square for a 7. Oh yeah, we got 2 7s coming down here, and a 7 will have to go in one of these 2 squares. So it looks as if 3, 4, and 7 must go in these squares here. Let me double check. 3, 4, and 7. 7 definitely must go in one of these 2. 3 definitely must go in one of these 2. A 4 definitely must go over here somewhere, and therefore in one of these 2. Yes, 3, 7, 4. This is a 6, 9, and that makes this a 1. This is now a 6, 9, and this is a 6, 9. So if these are 3, 4, and 7, these must be a 1 and a 5. We got a 1 blocking here, so the 5 must go here and the 1 here. I think that is correct. If it's not, I'm sure the system will tell me very soon. I'm trying to make sense of something I spotted. I spotted the 6 and an 8 here blocking this square. And there's a 6 and an 8 here blocking this square, but it still leaves me with 1, 2 and a half square to fill with 6 and 8. So I don't think that is super helpful. I'm also looking at column 1 now. We have 4 givens, still looking for a 1, 3, 4, 5, and a 9. A 1 must go up here somewhere. And the 5 must go down here. So that's about all I can say. I must get more creative and look elsewhere. And I think I spotted something again. We need to find a 4, 7, 8, and a 5. 4, 5, 7, 8 for these 4 squares. There's a 7, 4 here, so these squares must be a 5 and an 8. And look at that, we got an 8 in the row, so this must be a 5 and this must be an 8. And before I continue with this column, let me just remember that we need to find space for the 2s and 5s in these 3 squares, and we now have a 2 and a 5 blocking here. So these 2 have to be a 2 and a 5, and there is a 5 in the column now, so the 2 goes here and the 5 here. And by the way, the 2 blocks here and here. So we'll just pencil in the 2 here and get back to these 2 squares. They have to be a 4 and a 7 now. And this is going to be a 9 and a 6. And because one of these is a 6, this square can't very well be a 6 now, can it? So it must be a 4. And this is a 6. We've got a 4 in one of these 2 squares now, and the other must be a 9. Leaving a 3, 5, 7 for these 3 squares. But that was a nice little round of new digits. Let's see if something happened that will let me get on with the solve. This is still a 6, 9 and a 6, 9. And these are all also 6, 9s. So 6, 9 seems to be a theme for this puzzle. Still a 3, 4, 7 here. 3, 4, 7 can't be resolved yet. But there is easy pickings, isn't there? Because the 8 here block like so, and the 8 here blocks across like so. So this must be an 8. And these two 8s block all the way over here. We got a couple of 8s blocking like so. So this is an 8. Yes, so we are making progress. Still a 1-7, still a 3-9, still a 4-6. So I'm thinking we need to find a 3, 4, 6, and a 9 for these squares here. We know that this is a 6 or a 9. We have a 6 or a 9 down here. So can we do something with that? We have a 6 and a 9 here. So this cannot be a 6 or a 9. We have a 6 and a 9 here. So this cannot be a 6 or a 9. So these two squares must be 6 and 9s. And that puts a 4 and a 3 in these two squares here. Can we do something with that? I don't think so. Or I'm just not seeing it. No, I'm definitely not seeing it. I thought I had something, but apparently I haven't. Or the strong coffee I just had got to me. I'm also trying to do something with the 1, 7, and 4s because we need to find a 1, 3, 4, 7, and 9 across here in row 2. We know that this is a 3 or a 9, so we're looking for a 1, 4, 7. And they have to go in 3 of these 4 squares. Unfortunately, there's not a 1, there's a 1, 7 coming up blocking here. Unfortunately, these 1s and 7 aren't in the same column, so they can't go up and block here. So I'll have to figure out something else. This can be an 1 and this can be a 1, the only two 1s possible in the row. So I've been also looking at a possible X-wing in 1s, but there are too many other 1s already found in this grid. So an X-wing on 1s is not going to do it. And then we're looking at a possible X-wing for a 7 that would be here and here. And again, there is nothing lined up. I'm not sure that even a skyscraper is going to do it for me, so I'm not going to go on that path. We'll find something, I'm sure. I don't know where my mind has been, but I'm just spotting a single here. We got a 5 blocking over, and we got a 5 blocking up, and we got a 5 blocking down. So this is a 5. That wasn't so hard, was it? And yet it took me quite a while to stumble over this one here. So these are 4 and 9, and this is now a 7 and a 3. We got a 3 in the column, making this a 7, and this a 3. This is now a 7. And remember the 7, 1 we had here from the beginning? This now must be a 1, and this must be a 7, making this a 7, making this a 7. And these are now 3s and 4s. We got a 4 in the column, making this a 3 and this a 4. And therefore this is a 4 now. And that makes this a 4 and this a 6. And this a 6. From here it seems to be self-propelling. A 1 and a 3 in these two squares. 3 blocks here, so this is a 1 and this is a 3. This, of course, now must be a 3, making this a 3 and this a 9, and this a 9. Yeah, Finding this 5 here really solved this puzzle, it seems. This is a 1 now, and this must be a 4, making this a 4, and this a 4, and this was a 9, remember? And therefore this must be a 9, and this must be a 9, and this must be a 6. We do remember the 9-6 pairs, don't we? And this is also a 6. This is a 6, and this is a 9. Wow, just finding one single solved the rest of the puzzle. So let that be a lesson. Never give up. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll come back for more soon. Goodbye for now, and thank you for watching.